Kilakarai is a municipality in Ramanathapuram district in the Indian state of Tamil Nadu. As of 2011, the town had a population of 38,355. At first we divided the Kilakarai town into 6 nodes. Each node worked around 60-80 hectares of the town. At the beginning of the studio we were assigned the 5 stages of design progress along with the date of submissions. Sixth century. Chakanatrakkoval, one of the first built temple. Construction started around 630 AD and was completed in 712 AD. Varagunapatians offered this temple to Abraham family, at the time of Prophet Muhammad in Arabia, 6th century. Bedouin Sahabi came to Kilakarai to spread Islam. He built a mosque with the help of Persians and Romans, established the Kilakarai Pay in 639 AD, as trading was very prominent. For praying the merchants allotted a small place for prayer which was established before Kilakarai Pay. Now it is rebuilt, the old mosque is still there. In 7th century AD, Arabians and Yemen settled down in east side of Kilakarai. Moors, Maracars. Similarly, Portuguese merchants established praying place now known as St. Anthony Church. Kilakarai is affected several times by natural calamities. Once tsunami attacked in 1195, again in 1480 it was hit by cyclone and everything destroyed the Tondalamellakarai. The 9-bungalow area, the west part was then known as Kilakarai, which only survived the cyclone, thus the city named Kilakarai. At this time Kilakarai Strait in Bamban were enlarged. 12th century. 12th century saw great trading in Kilakarai with different merchants. It is mentioned in Tower of Nelisime 3 Apudayar Temple, beginning of 14 and 15th century, they used dinar and dirhams. Dinara and dirama. In 15th century St. Panatra Church was built, giving birth to the Christian community around it. In 16th century Portuguese colonization in Ceylon. Sri Lankan Moors settled down. Many structures like Kalpai in 16th century, St. Anthony redevelopment, Othakarai, Jamapalvasil established in 17th century. There can be little doubt that these enterprising folk are the descendants of the Moria traders mentioned by Barbosa. They must be classified as a mixed race springing from the union of Arab traders with women to the country. There were traces of cultivation as shown. The settlement in Kilakarai evolved based on the river and the river-based cultivation. Kilakarai is a part of Ramid dynasty which was ruled by Sathapathi kings. It is also called the Marva dynasty. Sathapathi simply means protectors of Sathu. Sathu refers to the Ramar bridge. There are traces of Kilakarai in the maps. Until 17th century Kilakarai has not been mentioned, even though settlement started long before. People at Kilakarai are Tamil-speaking Hindu race converted to Islam with some admixture of Arab blood. They are described as industrious and enterprising, plucky mariners and expert traders. Some are divers in the pearl and shank fisheries of the Gulf of Mannar and others are weavers of sedge mats, A good deal of trade is carried on Penang and Singapore, and among imports from those pigeons is the Malay blowgun, which Dr. N. Annandale found in use at Kilakarai for shooting pigeons.
Studying the morphology to know the settlement pattern and growth of city. This is the assumed morphological map derived from the timeline and river settlement pattern, as we could not get any authenticated documents for morphology. Kilakarai has a history of 2,000 years. At the same time, towns like Maranga, Salio or Vayutapuri were perished.
Kilakarai is accessed by the MUKKU road, which follows till the shore. It has another entry, Mulavada Road, for the access of 9 eastern node of the town. The roads in Kilakarai are mostly 4 meters, 3 meters, 2 meters, 1 meter roads. Out of which the 4 meters, 3 meters roads are accessed by vehicles, hindering pedestrianism and causing congestion also. The 1 meter, 2 meters roads are encroached by private vehicles of the residents.
Introduction. This junction road node is the north part of the town. The road from Ramanathapuram and Avadi connects this junction road, which is the entry to the town. History of development. The development of this node is based on the Sri Narayana Swami temple, which is about 300 years old. Land use. This node is not dense compared to other nodes in Kilakarai, which has more vacant land, becoming prime point for the commercial. Figure ground analysis. The coarse grains define commercial buildings. The fine grains define residential buildings. The north and west part has scattered grains. Green and open spaces. Analyzing the green and open spaces in Junction Road node, we conclude that this node got scope for the future development. Major activities in green and open spaces are farming, real estate plots and graveyard. Portal to the town. Constraints. Lack of pleasantful visual approach to entrance. Scattered commercial development. No pedestrian sidewalks. Overhead electrical cables affects visual experience. Opportunities. The road stretch makes vista effect. Developing commercial edges. There is space for developing pedestrian sidewalks. Providing underground cable system. Kilakarai was an Islamic town. The structure designed based on Islamic architectural style. The gateway designed as vault with equilateral pointed arch. The proportion is based on golden rectangle ratio. The junction has massive structure as a landmark. It gives grand entrance to the town. It provides serial vision. Commercial decentralization. Kilakarai is developed in a cluster manner, and the development of the commercial is in the core of the town. The Kamathi Milk Shop node is the commercial hub of the town, 45% of the commercial space of Kilakarai. It is in Kamathi Milk Shop node which leads to traffic jam and some inconvenience. Junction Road node is the entrance to the town and developing zone that got the opportunity for the commercial decentralization and development. knowledge center. Other than the services, this node has only the spiritual public amenities. The residential zones are inactive without connection to the public amenities. We have university and more other educational institutions in Kilakarai, connecting from Raman to Salkudi. There are over 40 rural villages around this region. Students and teachers are from various areas are into this area due to its strength of institutions. One of the greatest scientists, Abdul Kalam, he is Muslim and accepted by all religion. So in Kilakarai, this knowledge center of the name Abdul Kalam will be defined as monumental structure and will be accessed by people from various religion, will definitely help people to get connect and also to get more knowledge. Intermediate zone. Kilakarai's graveyard is placed in the Junction Road node. It is the prime junction of the town. The location of the graveyard restricts the development of the surrounding areas. As the surrounding space of graveyard is not developed, neighborhood people dumping solid waste here. It affects the visual experience.
Our node can be characterized as a unique typology compared to other nodes right from the case of settlement evolution to sewage system. The node is concentrated by the Hindu population, which is mainly because of the development along the Hindu Bazaar. We can notice gradual development in the settlement pattern mainly over the period of 30 years. It was a recent development compared to the age of Kilakarai. Some of the main attractions include bus stand, Hindu Bazaar, fish market. The node is categorized with two extremes: bungalows and individual houses with wider roads, and on the other hand we have wall-to-wall construction with the narrow lanes. On understanding the problems, we tend to activate the life of urban spaces. As a result, the following proposals: as walking radius of main commercial zone and bus stand doesn't cover up entire Kilakarai and there is no public transport within Kilakarai, people are forced to use private vehicles. Kilakarai have lot of narrow street which create uncomfortable for minibus and town bus to be proposed here. Thus strategy enhancement of alternate mode of transport within Kilakarai with help of bicycle, shuttle cart and feeders. Existing bus terminus is less active due to inappropriate location. It has bottleneck approach. Turning radius required for bus: outer radius 13.5 meters, inner radius 6.5 meters. But this radius isn't available in existing location. There are inadequate parking facilities, waiting area, bus info, booking facilities. Thus, strategy relocating and designing terminus by incorporating design standards as per site conditions. Street found be less active and less safe. Thus strategy providing life to street and make it complete. Solid waste management. There is no proper solid waste management system. All the wastes are found throughout the road. Thus, strategy, reconceiving the issue of solid waste. 7% of fish is damaged. It is considered as waste. These wastes are sent nearly 18 kilometers away for usage. Considering the less employment usage of these fish waste can be done here itself. Thus, strategy. Providing disposal facilities to minimize the waste procured from the existing fish market. There is less recreational space and have 60% of wall-to-wall construction houses with narrow street. Culture of Kilakarai Muslim is wearing fatha and doesn't preferring to talk with other men. As scarcity of land is an issue, terrace is opportunities for recreational and energy sources. Thus strategy, recreating terrace life practices for betterment of environment. As there is only 2 mahal in Kilakarai with very low seating capacity and without air conditioning and proper ventilation, community center can be proposed. As there is no sports park with indoor and outdoor spaces with specific amenities like running track and children play, recreational area can be proposed. There is Old Sport Club of area 3.5 acres which currently have only goal post. This site can be selected for it. Thus, strategy designing a community center for the better cultural and social life. Providing a recreational space for outdoor and play area. Main docking point contains 20-30 cycles whereas sub-docking station contains 8 to 10 cycles. Cycle track are designed around Kilakarai with 2 meter wide for two-way flow of cycles with bollard on each sides of track to create segregation from traffic. Relocating bus terminal. The existing bus terminal is comparatively less active. It is situated at inappropriate location which results in less functionality. The approach to the terminal is through a bottleneck entry which makes it inconvenient for the vehicular traffic. The proposed location of the terminal is 280 meters away from MUKKU Road Junction and covers an area of 8,110 sqm. The omnibus terminal is also integrated with the design. The design provides bus stops for shuttle buses for the convenience of the users. The necessary amenities which are lagging in the existing design have been addressed. The proposed terminal would create a need for commercial development. The design has been enlightened with the use of PV cells and smart signs. The smart information sign is provided on considering the welfare of physically challenged. Adaptive streets. Streets are public spaces that can support a multitude of activity, not only movement of vehicles, but also places to gather, socialize, stay and play. This does not necessarily mean a sidewalk and bike lane on every street. Individual street context is important. Some streets are temporarily closed for automobile traffic which reduce pollution generation, thus encourage walkability. We try to construct situations which would make people to socialize. Activating smart systems make the environment more sustainable. On offering charging points on furniture and poles can create better outdoor working environment. Street level vegetation offers better air quality and reduced cooling cost. These also act as microclimate modifiers and recharge the groundwater table. Terrace life. Terrace is in space which connects us to nature and can serve as an immediate outdoor space. For vision of healthy communities there are 4 components. They are seating, creative spaces, gardening and solar panels. In seating, We are providing multifunctional furniture includes pieces that can be used for more than one purpose, and we are also integrating vegetation along with furniture to create a liveliness for the space. In creative spaces, we are adding a focal point that attracts the eyes towards it. Lighting. Lighting a roof will make it look larger space. Utilizing a vertical space. Utilize vertical space to add more space to your rooftop garden. Sounds of nature. Nature has all sounds of healing and creating a terrace-level natural scenery which helps the user to explore the sounds of nature that are emotional and mental healers by itself. Gardening. Rooftop garden is to incorporate urban rooftop planting into shared design, making full use of idle space on the roof and carry out rational planning and design. We are proposing rooftop plantation furniture. Solar panels. The use of solar panels reduce the use of electricity. There are several types of solar panels. We are proposing 1 kW on-grid system. It generates 4 units in a day, that is 1,400 kilowatt-hours, 1,500 kilowatt-hours, which is sufficient for 2 4 BHK house. Kinetic floor tile. By stepping 250,000 footsteps in these tiles generate a maximum amount of energy that was enough to charge 10,000 mobile phones. It can also generate electricity when the sun went down. Cycling rigging bike provides 24 V 200 watt of electricity can be stored in a 12-volt lead-acid battery, and these stored energy can be used even when not pedaling. HJ School Node. We named our node as HJ School Node because it is the main landmark of our node. At the time period of 1960, the school was a pond and a mosque near the pond named as Kulangaraya Papali. Settlement started based on this pond and mosque. Later school emerged on this land, settlement increased and caused congestion. Study. To know in detail about H.J. School Node, we worked on morphology of the node, which gave us knowledge about the growth pattern of the settlement in the node. Then we worked on land use, road network, housing patterns, services and transportation through site visit analysis. From the study works, we analyze the SWOT, strength, weakness, opportunities and threat, and find out the possibilities and constraints in our node. Strategies. Taking conclusion from analysis, we made strategical statements which helped in our proposals. The strategies are: 1. Defensive measures can be taken in case of sea erosion in coastal areas. 2. Reclaiming the municipal land for public space. 3. Increase production of main occupation to the extent of exporting. 4. Increasing the pedestrianism in lanes, incorporating calming devices and urban pockets in road network. 5. Open lands are becoming a useful land, paving a way for commercial and residential zones. 6. To adopt an effective method of sewages treatment in scope of the conservation of biosphere. Proposals. From the study, strategically we went through everything and came to a conclusion and proposed the following. Sea wall and bay walk. From land evolution study we know that land erosion occurred due to increase in sea level. To avoid the erosion we propose to give a sea wall along a seashore. As a part of it we incorporate human activities through bay walk, seafront plazas, seashore restaurants and viewpoints. It also acts as a recreational space for local people. Fishermen development. On the basis of analysis of Kilakarai, the main source of income depends on fishing. But the fishermen people don't have a proper living and working space. And also their income is depleted during fishing ban periods. To give a solution for this problem we design a proper fisherman area with a facility of living and working space. And also to improve their income we give a better solution of 3D ocean farming and dry fish cottage industry. I am sure it definitely improve the livelihood of fishermen people. Increase production of main occupation. Park. The land was polluted by composting dumps from the surroundings. It suffers people visually and environmentally. As by the people request, the land was cleared and proposed for public usage. This land will act as major accessing space by the surrounding people and will be act as focal point/landmark. It plays role of recreation, entertainment, gathering space, urban pocket and attractive element to the surroundings. And the surroundings will be pollution-free. Cemetery. As the cemetery land is fully surrounded with non-usable green pocket with uniform arrangements. Basically cemetery will be separate and lack of access. But by reclaiming as usable green pocket we can use it for people usage. This cemetery land is allotted for CSI Christians in Pethery Street and Hindu fisherman community in 21 MUKKU. Central monumental structure creates focal point. Urban pockets and IAT. Main problem we facing in our node is parking facilities, so we took the problem to give the solution. We take the unusable land we gave the urban pockets for parking the vehicle by the surrounding peoples. So that they can park the vehicle in the urban pockets, then they walk to their house. It give both solutions, parking and pedestrians in lanes. Future development. As the settlement became densely and wall-to-wall construction, led to lag of green space and avoid proper wind and sunlight. The future development that is yet to come continues in the old way. We suggest that upcoming development should strictly follow the norms, rules and regulations of building development. Sewage treatment plan. Kilakarai Town does not have proper sewage treatment facility. Sewage water is directly mixed with sea. This cause water pollution occur. Mixed sewage particles are deposited in the mussels and fish species. This directly affect the health of the consumers. To avoid this big threat, we design a sewage treatment plant to clean the sewage water and reuse it. Plant. studying the figure ground of node explains IT has no space to expand things for services. It's tightly compacted with besides the service study of Kilakarai Town's US. Their outlet of sewage and sewage water are let into sea directly without any treatment, which in spilling the most valued biosphere reserve, Gulf of Mannar environment. Also not giving good sense of leisure of seashore. Understanding traffic and transport study. Seashore's importance was also destroyed by its access, with more residential increment over the growth, which couldn't extend road width. The blue space to be designed of our zone is of stretch 1.9 km. Kilakarai seashore is anchored along the fishermen's community, also impacts as only economic shore, not as leisure zone. Following Stargates developed as proposals to our node. Reviving the beach junction at end. Magnifying lighthouse for the scenic view. Aquarium to display the most precious species of Gulf of Mannar. Rebuilding the existing jetty bridge to anchor boats. Leisuring margin to people leisure. Day fish market to full-time fish market for its zone vibrance. Entertainment venue within residential jungle. As Jacob says, diverse economic opportunities. By and for to local and tourist. Starting with the analytical study. Green and open spaces. The node has immense green and open space, but the problem is that it isn't distributed equally. According to our analysis, the green space in the node is more than required, but because of congested density of zone it is not properly utilized. Land use proximity analysis. Analyzing the 300 meters perimeter zone, we realized that the node has feasible access to institutional and religious buildings but lacks commercial proximity. Some zones mentioned have lack of proximity access to commercial zone, road network. The conclusion of this analyzing the road networks is that Kilakarai has lack of pedestrianism as 1 meter, 2 meters lanes are encroached by private vehicles of residences and 3 meters lanes are accessed by vehicles. So improving pedestrianism is the analytical conclusion. Also the Muluvadi road being the collector road now has to act as an subarterial road according to the norms.
SWOT analysis. Being the wealthiest junction as the owners of West Street are all well settled to have the surveillances all times due to congested living, these are the strengths analyzed. Poor road network and 2 meters, 3 meters roads are also accessed by vehicles, thus hindering pedestrianism. This being of the weakness that we took over as proposal. The raised plinth level throughout the city due to cultural practices. There could be no action taken in this process. This is the threat of the node.
Having lots of future developing land and the Muluvadi road access acting as an entry to the node for development. This opportunity was also considered as an proposal to develop the Muluvadi road and use the open land for welfare of city and to use the land for commercial development.
Muluvadi road. From the SWOT analysis and road network analysis, development of Muluvadi road to a subarterial road, making it a more pedestrian accessible road with proper junctions. Commercial development. Solving the commercial need for the node and also developing the commercial stretch in the Muluvadi road by placing catalysts. The Muluvadi stretch to be the commercial stretch as it is proposed as the subarterial now, interpretation center. Using the open available space and designing a heritage space for the welfare of Kilakarai at the Muluvadi road, this acts as an welcomable place to the city. This center is to educate visitors the cultural, social and historical value of Kilakarai, walking city. From the road network analysis and SWOT analysis, it was clear that we need to promote pedestrianism as designing the walking city and finding urban pockets for parking to allow pedestrianism in 1 meter, 2 meters lanes, as it will provide a secured parking.
History. Though Kilakarai is a coastal town, the town has a history of more than 2,000 years ago, which we get known from the names referred in Tamil literatures like Kalithogai and Agananoru. Kilakarai became the Muslim majority town by the influence of Arab trade in 6th century. The legendary peoples like Valsethakathi and Sadakathul were lived in Kilakarai in the 17th century. Study and analysis. The first settlement in Kilakarai was formed at present lighthouse where the old Juma mosque was established. Later on the settlement was formed along with the masjids. A huge settlement pattern was formed in the 17th century because of the development in trade and population. The land use and figure ground which we worked for the morphology of our Kamathi node, gave us the detailed knowledge about the growth of settlement pattern in our node. In 17th century, the Jamia Masjid was built by Valsethakathi, which paved way for more settlements like commercial area and residential area in our Kamathi node, and thus how our node got evolved. The housing pattern gave us the knowledge about the clustered housing pattern and in organized pattern settlements. It is the main commercial hub of the town. This is the only node which connects all the other nodes. Comparing with other nodes, it has less open space and green spaces. Lebakadai is one of the main cultural landmark in our node where most of the political meetings were held and also the religious meetings. This Lebakadai spot is used as a multifunctional space where fish markets are opened in the evening time. Our node has residential, commercial, mixed commercial, religious building, public building and administrative buildings. Opportunities and constraints. Our node is the main congested zone because of poor road network, thus makes our node congested and traffic. Parking facilities are not followed in the commercial stretch. Though our node has more commercial zones, reboosting the commercial zones will increase the economy and livelihood of the peoples in Kilakarai. Water scarcity is one of the major threat in Kilakarai. Kilakarai has more population in terms of living index, where the index of the town is 16,000 peoples per square m. The medical facilities were less for the population of Kilakarai. Strategies. Development of public health and welfare by revitalization of existing hospital. Provision of residential lodging facility and restaurant. Reclaiming and diversification of market. Occupy outdoor space to achieve recreation area and parking area. Revival of education. Formation of underground utility duct for electrical and communication line. To provide entertainment space. Providing home for helpless. Proposal with justification. Revitalization of existing hospital improves the healthcare of Kilakarai by providing additional beds and additional improvements. The existing hospital facilities are not enough for the people in and around the town. Water scarcity is increasing day by day in Kilakarai. Kilakarai has enormous natural resources like seawater which can be used as drinking water. Thus providing a desalination plant will solve the water scarcity. Most of the pocket space in our node are not in use, thus converting the pocket space into two-wheeler parking can reduce the traffic congestion and the flow of vehicles can be freely traveled without any disturbances in the road. Hindu market is the vegetable market is the only market in Kilakarai. The loading and unloading for this market were done in the main roads. This caused traffic and also proper drainage system are not maintained in the market. Thus improving the old market infrastructure and decentralizing the market in MUKKU Road can lead to new development. In Kilakarai the main commercial hub is located in our node. We regulate, reboot and activate the existing commercial for the economical development. In Kilakarai and surroundings of Kilakarai has more old age and helpless people. We habitat them to make our own job by providing activities like agriculture, cottage industries, education etc. It creates an impact on social and economical activities. Impact on From the study and analysis we proposed solving the issues of the town, developing their economic development to their potential, proposed to retain their heritage value and culture and also developing the future development land.